Welcome to RCAM. I'm your host, Ryan, and thank you for tuning in today. I hope all of you guys are having a great day. I was about to go off on like an epic rap battle of histories intro. Welcome to RCAM. I'm your host, Ryan, and thank you for tuning in today. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. And I hope all of you guys are having a very blessed night because I know that I am. All right. So today we are going to be talking about a lot of grifters. So there's going to be some lots of talk of grifters. So we'll cover Ashley St. Clair reversing her position on transgenderism. Big shocker there. We will also discuss Pearl getting absolutely annihilated by Ana Kasparian in her recent debate. And we will talk about the insufferable libs at the Golden Globes virtue signaling for ICE to get out. And much more today. So before we get into it, though, if you guys like this content, please like, share, subscribe, and click that notification bell to stay notified every time we go live. And we go live every Tuesday through Saturday at 9 p.m. unless my wife goes into labor. Then no, then we will not be going live. But yeah. So I hope everybody's having a great night. KMD, I see ya, man. Maple Motors in Tennessee got a 1972 Mustang. March 1st for 35K seems like a great deal for a classic car. Good for you, man. My mom just got a 19, I think it's 68 or 69 Mustang. Her husband does body work, so she's pretty excited. Anyway, let's get into this topic today. So, for those of you who may be unfamiliar with Ashley St. Clair, let me just give you a little bit of a brief history lesson on who Ashley actually is. All right. So Ashley St. Clair has been among conservative circles for quite some time now. She formerly worked with the Babylon Bee. I've seen her make satirical video. She's been buddy buddy with Lauren Southern and some other figures in the right wing space. She worked with a publishing company called Brave Books to produce a book called Elephants Are Not Birds, which was a commentary geared toward children on the evils of transgenderism. And probably where most of you know her from is she is Elon Musk's latest baby mama. So Ashley St. Clair is at least well known on Twitter space. If you're a normie though, you probably have no idea who the hell I'm even talking about. And the question is why? Why am I talking about Ashley St. Clair? Why is she relevant? Well, let's get into this, okay? So I early on identified Ashley St. Clair as probably not being as conservative as people thought when she posed for this um conservative calendar by this ultra right beer company or this beer company called Ultra Right. So she posed for this calendar in scantily clad attire. So one photo, I'm not going to show it to you perverts. Not going to show it. But she posed for one photo in basically a, like, I don't know, in a bathtub. It was suggestive. Suggestive. There we go. We got it. Suggestive. So I thought then that was a red flag for me. Something's amiss here. Something is not quite right with this girl, with this chick. Something's going down. Nah, I know exactly who you're talking about. I tagged her as proving the red pill community correct. Not really. She has always been kind of a lib, and I've seen her advocate for things like abortion, and she has struck me more as a libertarian all along, masquerading or cosplaying as a conservative. But She never really held conservative values, and that much was clear, especially with the calendar. I thought it was clear. But one thing that, well, let me back up. All right, hold on. All right. So anyway, uh, she poses for this calendar, and I recognize the grift for what it is. And her and other women are defending it. I think more prominently the redheaded libertarian, who also, by the way, not really super conservative. If you're gonna post for this calendar. Now, she had the one of the least risque photos in the calendar. Riley Gaines is another one that was featured in this calendar. So you have a lot of these quote unquote conservative chicks who are posing in this calendar, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. All right. And a calendar too, by the way, that's geared toward conservative men, i.e. married men. And that was not cool, not conservative. And it caused this little civil war on our end. All right. So you had that. Let me get this pulled up. And now, recently, Ashley, as I had stated before, had previously published a book called, um, you know, uh, "Birds Are Not Elephants." So I want to show it to you guys. Here it is. Let me reposition this stuff a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna reduce that. All right. So, "Birds Are Not Elephants." You can see here. This is her book. And this is supposed to be a children's book that basically shows the absurdity of transgenderism in a cute little story. And from what I hear, it's actually not bad. All right, but that's neither here nor there. So this is one of the works that she got behind, one of the works that she promoted. Also, funny enough, around the time this book came out, Matt Walsh released his book, Johnny the Walrus, which then Ashley St. Clair was accusing Matt Walsh of plagiarizing. And I distinctly remember this, and this being kind of a big deal, and Matt having to provide the receipts that he had thought of Johnny the Walrus long before her book was published, and that he knew nothing about her book, and ultimately she backed down. But the fact that she was whining and crying because another conservative was having far more success than her book had just shows that she was not in this because she truly cared about protecting children from the transgenderism, but that she was only in it for the money. And now we have the definitive proof that this woman is just a shameless, disgusting grifter. So after being exiled by the right wing, largely, I think, due to what happened between her and Elon Musk, I think that played a huge role. Her getting baby trapping Elon Musk. That's not very conservative, by the way, ladies. It's not conservative to try to trap men with babies. It's not. It's also not conservative to behave in promiscuous ways and have children with people who are not your husband. Not very conservative at all. But anyway, that is what Ashley St. Clair did. She ended up getting with Elon Musk and having a baby with him, and it ended in disaster. And then she went full blown psycho and started, doing hit pieces on Elon Musk and crying because he cut her, he wasn't giving her enough money. And now that she is exiled from the right wing, now that we don't want anything to do with her, she is embracing wokeness in probably its most demonic form. So she tweeted this out: "Dark woke, because the other option is boot-looking feds and pedophiles and nerds." She literally had a baby with one of the biggest, most well-known nerds on the planet. You had the mega nerd's baby. All right, and I'm not saying Elon. Elon has status, right? But the guy is a nerd. Like, come on, let's just be real. He's nerdy, and no shame on the nerd community. All right, he's a very, very smart man, but he also plays like Diablo and what's that other game? Path of Exile, and he likes video games, and he likes to talk about rock. Like, this is the type of guy he is. It's fine. It's cool. It's cool. Um, but anyway, so she's calling dark woke. I don't even what the hell is dark woke anyway? Is that supposed to be like an edgy version of wokeness? There is no edgy. If if dark woke is supposed to be edgy, it immediately loses its edge the moment you embrace transgenderism, which is what Ashley St. Clair is about to do. So, Onion Person wrote, "You've previously engaged in blatant transphobia." Oh my God. Blatant transphobia. My God. How do you feel about trans people in wake of noticing how the far right truly is? Ashley St. Clair, I feel immense guilt for my role, and even more guilt that things I have said in the past may have caused my son's sister, brother, so she's adopting their pronouns, more pain. I don't really know how to make amends for many of these things, but I've been trying incredibly hard privately to learn plus advocate for those within the trans community that I've hurt. I've also haven't said much on this because I've gone back and forth over whether my voice would be helpful on the issue since it will be framed as disingenuous or just because I'm scorned. Well, that's correct. Even this reply will become right-wing hysteria, but yeah, I am sorry. Let me know how I can help. Well, because she knows that's exactly what she is doing. She is a scorned woman, and this is my personal opinion. I don't believe she truly woke up one day and said, you know what? Men can have penises. Yes, and if they put on a dress, they are suddenly a woman. I don't think that happened. I don't think she woke up having that epiphany. What I think is happening here, what I suspect is happening here, is that Ashley St. Clair realized she has no friends anymore on the right because we all recognized her as a shameless, home-wrecking grifter. We recognized her as that. And we want nothing to do with her. KMD, the right is definitely bootlicking. Not everybody, bro. I don't know who you're talking about, but I don't lick no boots. But I do, there are things on the right that I support, things that I don't. Anyway, that's here than over there. But anyway, so I think, and then I also think this is ultimately to hurt Elon Musk. She will sacrifice his child on the altar of trans sanity to hurt Elon Musk. That is what she is trying to do. That is what I believe. I believe she is scorned, and I think she rightly identified that and is trying to run cover for how she really feels, because I'll tell you this, no one in their right mind who previously was against transgenderism wrote a book about it, suddenly wakes up one day and is like, you know what? I was wrong. The trans community is right. We should be using people's preferred pronouns and supporting their decisions to transition. Nobody does that naturally, all right? No, she's doing this because she doesn't have any friends on the left and she wants to hurt Elon Musk, and that is the only reason for it. There is no other reason she would do this. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's not stupid. She's not at all. But obviously, she's been getting torched for this, and rightly so, because it's just absurd. We are in the year 2026. It has never been more unpopular to support the trans movement. All right, it just hasn't. Flat out, straight up. It has never been more unpopular to support this. Yeah, I'll say it. Probably gonna get me banned on TikTok. I don't care. I don't care because it is insane. It's insane. It's insanity. All right. Dang it, I went there. All right, whatever. It is what it is. It can't be helped. All right. So anyway, it's crazy town, and 18 USC 11 resisting impending federal officers. I don't know if maybe that's a topic we'll talk about later, but anyway. Uh yeah, that's crazy town. And I just want to show you how much things have shifted on the trans stuff, okay? Because things have really taken a quite a wild turn, a turn that I never thought that we would actually see. And I want to play for you some clips from a show that's making the rounds. Let me see if I can find the whole the whole clip because I only have small clips and I want I want something I want something longer. All right. Hold on a second. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? I'm going to pull it up. All right, here it is. Bingo. All right. So this is from a show called Landman, and this is going to show you how far we are as a culture from distancing ourselves from the trans movement. So this is from the show Landman, and I'm going to play this clip, and we will talk about it.
So what are your pronouns?
My pronouns? I would hope that's pretty clear.
Yeah, I don't make assumptions. You could identify as a sunflower.
You know, I've been told I look like one.
I use they, them.
You know, I've always been curious. Why they, them? Because there's just one of you, and those are plural pronouns. Just never really understood the hoopla of pronouns. My name's Ainsley, and I just can't really come up with a reason why you would address me in third person in a conversation that I'm a part of. So if you do, I'm probably not there. So I wouldn't really know what pronouns you're using anyways. So why would it matter?
You smell like the beach.
Who even says that? You know, I think it's because I use coconut oil as a moisturizer. Of all the oils, it penetrates the deepest. This one smells like coconut too.
I would appreciate if you didn't use that word.
Coconut?
Penetrate. It's triggering. It insinuates the patriarchal power of the phallus.
Phallus?
Penis.
They sure can be triggering. Dude, I dated a boy one time, and his was like, it was like a third forearm. And I used to just spit on it and stroke it and pretend to pass out. Because there was no way that tree trunk was going inside me.
Inappropriate.
Do you eat meat?
Are we still talking about penises?
I'm vegan. I would prefer you don't eat meat in this room. I would really appreciate it if you didn't bring any animal products in this room, like those shoes are probably cowhide.
Oh, no, babe, these are Jimmy Choo.
I meditate at noon.
Okay.
And I don't like music.
Well, I'm not a musician.
I mean, I don't like it played in the room. This is my safe space, and I need my environment crafted to support my mental health.
I think the more attention you give your mental health, the better. Pagan.
Pagan.
That's what I said.
No. You said it different.
I'm gonna let you, they meditate, and I will see they later. I'll be back.
Wild to see them depicting trans individuals, how they actually present themselves. They actually present themselves this insufferable in real life. Where normal people are like, yeah, this is weird. This is making me uncomfortable. And one thing that it always has bothered me about the they them pronouns, or somebody wanting you to call them by their preferred pronouns. What? No. If somebody asks you for your preferred pronouns, the only correct response is, "What, are you stupid or something? Like, look at me." All right. Yeah, it's actually safe to assume. It's safe to assume if they look like a man or they look like a woman, 99.9, no, Yeah, 99.9% of the time, they are the sex that they appear to be. It's only these trans identifying individuals that make it convoluted because they distort their bodies to look strange. So if you accidentally, misgender them, well, that's their own fault. That's their own problem. They invited that on themselves. Okay? So we shouldn't feel bad about it. Um we shouldn't be bothered by that at all. There's another clip from this that I wanted to play. I haven't watched it, so we'll be watching it together, but apparently she gets called in to the counselor's office and gets a finger wagging, so let's check this out.
Yeah, I don't get the sense that she wants me to express myself at all.
How so?
Well, for example, their pronouns.
Here we go.
What?
Nothing. I'm just preparing myself to be offended.
No,
by all means.
I don't care what someone's pronouns are. I mean, using a plural pronoun for one person is just kind of incorrect.
Says who?
Well, the English language.
Ainsley, I'm not going to argue the evolving nature of pronoun usage with you. They would prefer you use they, them. Why is that an issue for you?
It's not. But so she's telling.
I'd be like, well, it is an issue because it's fundamentally untrue. It's false. Oh, did you comment on YouTube, bro? I can't see any comment. I see the right bootlicking, and that's the last thing I saw.
They're telling me what to call them, and they're telling me no music and all the things that they need to feel comfortable, but they're not asking what I need to feel comfortable.
Did you inform them of what you need to feel comfortable?
They didn't give me a chance to.
Then it sounds like you and your roommate have a lot to discuss. Ainsley, I'm not here to referee issues between you and your roommate. That's your job now. Assert yourself. Start acting like the adult your driver's license says you are.
I'm calling my mom.
Or ignore my advice and act like you're 11.
Yeah, I like that she responds, well, the English language. Yeah. Yeah, that's who says using a plural pronoun for one person is incorrect. Is the English language. Civilization itself speaks to this. So it's cool to see that we are evolving as a culture, moving on from this insanity. But unfortunately, people like Ashley St. Clair are going in the opposite direction and are embracing it. But I'm glad not everybody is having it because the book company that she produced her book, Elephants Are Not Birds, statement from Brave Books. Oh, what is going on here? All right. Over the last decade, we've witnessed a massive cultural shift. Basic foundational truths like biological sex have become controversial. In 2021, we partnered with Ashley St. Clair on a children's book titled Elephants Are Not Birds. The book communicates a clear truth that our biological sex is not chosen, but something we are given. It has become increasingly apparent that Ashley no longer aligns with the message of the book or with our mission. For that reason, we have reached a mutual agreement with Ashley that her name will be removed from Elephants Are Not Birds in future prints. Our position remains unchanged. Brave Books exist to tell stories that affirm timeless biblical truths and to partner with voices who share that conviction and desire to pass it on to the next generation with clarity and courage. That commitment requires discernment in both the stories we tell as well as the partners we choose. We will continue to act with conviction and tell stories that reflect the truths we believe are worth passing on. We are grateful to our families who have welcomed our stories into their homes and who have trusted us to play a small role in their children's lives. Well done, Brave Books, for disassociating themselves with Ashley St. Clair, who is just a shameless grifter and who does not really deserve the time of day for embracing something that is just true madness. I mean, just true and utter madness. So I'm glad that they have parted ways with her. Now, I will say this. I do not think they should have ever partnered with Ashley if she was not a Christian. See, I think if you are a a Christian company that pride yourselves in building biblical truths, that you should not partner yourselves with somebody that does not align with that fundamental truth. I don't recall Ashley St. Clair ever stating that she is a follower of Jesus or anything like that. So that was their first mistake, but I'm glad they are correcting the ship, righting the wrong, and parting ways with her. Uh, and it looks like Ashley's in more trouble because Elon Musk fired this tweet out in response to this person that said Elon needs full custody. Coming out in support of trans grooming like this is insane. And then he said, I will be filing for full custody today, given her statements implying she might transition a 1-year-old boy. Yeah. He should absolutely do everything in his power to get custody of his boy to prevent his son from being indoctrinated by this psycho. It's just crazy. So I think that is the right move, and her embracing that this whole trans ideology, I think, is really just a dig at Elon Musk. All right, catching up on comments real quick. YouTube, for something else, literally censored my comment. Well, KMD, you probably said something based, so good job. Good job. All right, let's get into our next topic. So I have been a critic of Pearl Davis for quite some time. Not a fan. I think she is loudmouthed, obnoxious, and degenerate, to say the least. I think she's a degen. And she spectacularly embarrasses herself in this debate with Ana Kasparian. And for those of you who do not know who Ana Kasparian is, she's actually a liberal. And so I am not at all Team Ana, but I am, gotta say, enjoying seeing Pearl get knocked down a peg a little bit. I do think there are people that would have probably been far better equipped to debate Ana, like what is it? What is her name? Rach for Patriarchy. So that's Andrew Wilson's wife, Rachel Wilson. I think she would have done a good job. And I think Pearl just showed how incompetent she really is. But she is, showing and clipping some things that kind of look favorable to her, maybe, but I don't think so. You tell me if Pearl looks good in this exchange, because I don't think she does.
Let me ask you something, Pearl.
Men.
Would you be willing to marry a guy who's poor?
Men.
Because I married a guy who was in debt and loved the hell out of him. Best thing in my life. Would you marry a guy who is broke, no career, and in debt? Would you?
That's very nice, Anna.
Would you?
So I'm going back
Answer
to
the question. Would you marry a broke guy in debt?
All right, so we're going back to the
Would
topic.
you? Would you?
All right, this is the nagging. again. Okay, so
I'm pushing you to answer a question.
She's deflecting and calling her nagging. She's deflecting because she doesn't want to actually answer the question.
Because you are judging women, making a blanket statement of who they would be willing to marry, who they wouldn't be willing to marry. But you're not answering the question yourself. Would you be willing to marry a broke guy in debt?
Does your husband have to listen to this?
Would you?
Does he have to listen to this?
Oh, he loves it.
Even the debate moderator stepping in, like, shut up, Pearl, and just answer the damn question.
All right,
Can't get enough of
can
it.
I go back
Do you
to the
not want to
question?
answer that? Why do you not want to answer that?
Yeah, why not?
Just say, no, I don't want to broke.
Love is love. Now, back to the question. Men, 88% of the food. The power grid, 93% men. Transportation, 95% men.
Men are an important society.
Communications, 90% men. Material production, 78% men. Software, 80% men. Auto workers, 98% men. Carpenters, 98% men. Electricians, 98% men. If you remove the top male-dominated jobs from the economy, you would have no running cars, no housing, no electricity, no open machinery, no materials or fabrics, and no computers. There would be no buildings and no Amazon delivery.
I've never once said that men are not a very important part of American society.
You want men enslaved to women for nothing in return.
No, you're just making
That's
things
what you
up.
want. That's what you want. You want men on the hook for child
Pearl,
support.
what have I said that gives you that impression?
Let her finish
What
her
have I
statement.
said
Make
that
it
gives you that impression?
You want men on the hook for child support. You want men on the hook for alimony.
You want men to not take responsibility for their own children.
You've been on the air for 20 years, and you have not advocated for men that are victims of paternity fraud. You want men to do all of the work, get no credit for nothing. And men aren't going to do it anymore. They're going to walk away, Anna. They're not going to do it anymore. And feminists, as you said, have no plan for when that happens. And I wish
What do you
you
want
luck.
their plan to be? You think it's a feminist responsibility to plan for this made-up society where all men decide they no longer want to work?
You guys know what's funny? She actually advocated.
So I do agree that men do all those predominantly difficult jobs, and they help build civilization. I 100% agree with that. Yeah, we did. We did. All right. A point blank period. Yes, we helped build civilization. Right. That's true. But the scenario that she is envisioning is imaginary because there's just no planet where men collectively are going to decide, I'm not doing this anymore, because we actually value living in civilization also. We do. So it is a fictional, completely contrived thing that she's making up that she's expecting Anna to answer. It's like, what is your plan? Plan when the government decides to drop a slime bomb on your city. It's like, well, that's not going to happen. I don't have a plan. What is your plan when flying unicorns break through the space-time continuum and start painting rainbows all over the sky and block out the I don't have a plan for that because it's an imaginary scenario that's never going to happen. You're never going to get even large swaths of men to completely give up on civilization. One, because we like living in civilization. We enjoy it, Two, some of us have a responsibility to something beyond just our wives, actually, beyond just women, our children. All right. So we're not just going to give up on society just for the sake of our children. And three, men like women, maybe not the red pill community, but most men actually like women. They like the way they look. They like being around them. They're enjoyable. Maybe not all of them. I certainly wouldn't want to be around a woman like Pearl. Okay. And probably not Anna. All right. She does not seem very pleasant either. But my wife, big fan of her. I love being around her. She's awesome. I want to be around her all the time, actually. Frankly, I don't care for most women these days outside. Men go their own way. Well, I don't know. I like women. All right. I like my wife mainly, one woman. But most men I know, they like women too. They like being in relationships with them. They like, having families with them, They long for an actual good woman for those who aren't in a relationship. So it's like men are just never going to give up. It's just an imaginary situation. So Pearl shared this as if it looks favorable for her, and I don't think it does actually. I think it actually kind of makes her look bad. That's my opinion. I don't think it looks good. She had to get corrected by the moderator for refusing to answer Anna's question. The next clip I'm about to show you is even worse. It's so bad. It's so freaking bad. I actually feel bad for her. And I will say this too. I'm somebody that I've debated publicly once, all right? It was last year in March, I believe. I was on Jubilee, and I did not do good, all right? Full transparency, I could have done better. All right, I look back, I play that debate over and over in my head and think of what I'd do differently, but I didn't I didn't I didn't do as bad as Pearl does in this moment that I'm about to share, because this is bad, all right? She gets annihilated. I've never seen somebody so loudmouthed and so obnoxious suddenly have nothing to say.
Are you just making things up? Pearl, what are you doing? Like, seriously. Next question.
It's so uncomfortable.
How many women die every year during childbirth?
Not many.
This country has the highest maternal mortality rate of any developed country, so a lot of women do die as a result of pregnancy and childbirth, yes.
She's like frozen.
Pearl isn't saying anything. What?
Got this, Pearl.
What the fuck?
She has to get egged on by the people in the audience. Look at what they're saying in the live chat. She's low energy. Shouldn't have eaten that. Shouldn't have eaten that second edible. This is so cringe. What the F is going on with her? Pearl needs her holy mother. Pearl is beautiful, but you mock her. She's drunk. She's kind of autistic. She's getting ready to crack. Pearl isn't a debater. Dude, this is insane. She's not even serious about any of this. Sheet. So, Pearl got obliterated, all right? And she even admits that she lost. You know, and then goes on to try to dunk on Anna. That only works though if you won the debate. You don't actually get to dunk though on Anna at all, because she'll drop a clip like this and it's just utterly embarrassing. All right, it's embarrassing. It's really, really bad. So it was, I will say, I can to a degree sympathize with Pearl for not being prepared. My excuse is that I had to debate a topic that I wasn't really strong in. I didn't really know a whole heck of a lot about it. But she's debating a topic where she claims to be an expert on, all right? Her claim is, I've interviewed 1,000 women, like you don't know what you're talking about. It sure doesn't sound like you've interviewed 1,000 women when you can't even hold your own with Ana Kasparian. This whole debate is ridiculous. Watching two women arguing is insane. Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, though, there are these voices out there, and it is helpful to have other women watch women challenge them on those ideas. Unfortunately, though, Pearl's not the best representative.
Are you just making
for women? She isn't. It is what it is. I do think Rage for Patriarchy would have been a better matchup against Ana Kasparian. I think that would have been interesting. So, it is what it is. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed watching Pearl get wrecked and taken down a notch. Hopefully she humbles herself and stops acting like an insufferable wench, but probably won't happen. She'll probably double down. It is what it is. Okay, let's move on to, we're going to talk about the Golden Globes, but I do just want to recap a little bit because it is relevant to what we're going to discuss about the Golden Globes. So obviously we we are all familiar with the recent uh, shooting that took place with the ICE agent. I do want to show you guys an angle from that. You probably have all seen it by now, but maybe you guys on TikTok haven't. I don't know. Because you get like one like there is we each get our respective uh clips that we see, and we're not often exposed to the other side. I've seen pretty much every clip and angle you could possibly see of what went down, but this does, I think, serve to me as definitive proof that the ICE agent was absolutely justified in responding with lethal force to the woman who was trying to run him over with her car. So we'll play this clip and then we will talk about it.
Get out of the car.
Oh!
So this is leading up to it. You see her in there. She's looking right at him.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later.
I think that's
fine.
the
US
lesbian
citizen,
person, partner.
You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead. Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car.
They're taunting them. Now look, she was looking right at him, so she knew he was there. I just want to back that up real quick. So there she is. She's turning it. The car's now aimed at him. All right, now let's. And her girl is saying, "Drive, baby, drive," and she runs him over. And that's ultimately what led to her tragic death. Now, there is something that I wanted to talk about that I don't know if anyone is really talking about this, but this is one of those things that it really is baffling to me how we can both see the same exact video and the left and right will arrive at complete opposite conclusions. All right, there's a person that I'm friends with. I know him from church. And when I lived in New York, anyway, he messaged me kind of responding to one of the clips that I posted and sharing this video as to prove that the shooting wasn't justified, and an innocent woman was shot, and saying that she turned her wheels away. And I look at this video, I'm like, what are you talking about, my guy? She's aiming the car right at him and drives right into him. So obviously it was intentional. That is the most logical conclusion that you can draw after watching that video, is that she intended to drive into the officer. And then, he responded with lethal force, which, by the way, is totally warranted on his part. He had every reason to believe that she was trying to hit him, and also because he had also been dragged before by a vehicle. By a protester. So, that happened. So, of course, yeah, he's going to be on edge. So, yeah, he had every right. Dude, just send me the comment on Twitter. You'll be all right. I'll open Twitter chat. Give me a second here. Let me just open it. I feel like that's the only way. And see, your mistake, Kennedy, bro. You could just come over to Rumble and I will see your chats and they won't get deleted because they don't play those dumb games. So it's time to come over, bro. Watch on Rumble or watch on Twitter. But I think watching on any other platform, it's just going to be a net negative experience. All right, let's see here. All right, I got my chats pulled up. So if you hop on one of those other ones, I can at least respond. All right, so there's that video. And then we have another, this dropped today. We have another woman trying to basically unalive herself by you know, driving into ICE agents. So we'll play this clip.
Police before I'm disabled, so I can go to the doctor up there. That's why I didn't move. It's okay.
I'm an autistic disabled person. Oh my gosh.
This is your duty. Why don't you help that woman? Help that woman. Why don't you help someone?
Anyway, so this is, she's trying to be their next martyr, but I'm not buying it, man. I also think a lot of these people here aren't actually here because they care about the protest. They just want footage. They're like, they just see viral moments. They're not pro ICE or against ICE. They're just pro, like, what's gonna get me viral? What crazy thing can I record? Anyway, she wasn't getting out of her vehicle. She's trying to get away, and she got arrested and found out. It is what it is. And you want to know an easy way to avoid getting, arrested or shot? You don't ignore orders from a law enforcement agent, or you just peacefully protest off to the side. You do that, and you will be a-okay. So I just don't get this, really. I don't. I think it's silly, and these people just end up putting themselves in tragic situations. Fortunately, this turned out with her just getting arrested, and we didn't have another situation happen. But it very well could happen, So I'm going to play a couple clips of just insufferable white women, and then I'm going to get over to our insufferable actors and actresses at the Golden Globes. So we have this lady. This is probably one of the more cringe clips I've ever seen.
So I'm just walking around kind of just dazed-eyed because I was like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. It feels kind of wrong being here in some way. I don't know why.
Why do you think? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Like where that stems from. Like part of it is being like a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege. So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this for a long time. This isn't new for them, and so I don't know if that makes any sense in that way.
How did you decide that you should be here? Or are you still figuring that out?
Well, I work like 2 miles from here, so driving by, it was like I'm here. I'm 2 miles. I can stop.
Imagine hating yourself that much, that you're crying. Like, you don't even feel like you're allowed to be upset because you're white. I mean, it's dumb to be upset anyway because, like, that woman put herself in a really bad situation. No, in a way, yes, it's sad because it's, like, tragically stupid, the situation that happened. Like, it's a tragedy. That's a sad thing because it was just completely pointless and unwarranted. But to sit there crying about it and to feel bad about your white privilege, Jesus, white women are not okay, man. They're just not. They've had a number done on them. They have had a number done on them. Let me see here. All right. Let's see here. Let's see what KMD wrote. Well, my first deleted was comment, be careful what you say. I was banned for saying, I'm not even going to say it. It's true, Twitter banned me for saying that instantaneously, almost like it was pre-programmed. Account suspended for hate. Yeah, that very well may happen to me on on TikTok. All right, and we'll play one more video of white women acting crazy. Here we go.
Hi! That could have been you yesterday in Minneapolis, in case you weren't aware. That could have been you, just minding your business and, getting your life taken away from you. That could have been you. Are you mad yet? Are you mad yet? Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Are you mad yet?
No, actually, it couldn't have been me. You want to know why? Because I actually was minding my own business. Like, I don't directly interfere with ICE operations. I just kind of, do my thing, take care of my family, focus on being a dad. And I don't, obstruct ICE operations with my vehicle while minding my own business. So no, I'm not mad. I'm not mad because I actually was minding my own business. She wasn't, though. All right. Renee Good wasn't minding her own business. Renee Good was there to actively disrupt ICE operations, and it cost her life. And the only people that we should be mad at are the Democrats that are stoking the flames of this insanity targeted at ICE agents. That's the only people we should be mad at. And that brings us to the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes, a demonstration of the most virtuous people in our culture. The Golden Globes, where actors and actresses gather together to virtue signal and show people how righteous they are and how good they are while they fly home on their private jets and have nothing to do with the plight of common people. So we will be talking about the Golden Globes and the interesting pin they are all wearing. So first, I'll play for you this clip featuring Wanda Sykes commenting on why she's wearing this pin and what the pin says.
The pin, be good. Tell me about
the pin. Yes. Of course, this is for the mother who was murdered by ICE agent, and it's really sad. And I know people are out marching and all today, and we need to speak up. We need to be out there and shut this rogue government down, because it's just awful what they're doing to people.
It's awful. It's awful that they are securing our border. It's awful that they are getting rid of rapists and murderers. It is awful. It is such a horrible thing that they are trying to actually make our country a better place by prioritizing the affairs of their own citizens. God awful, terrible, just stupid. And then we have Mark Ruffalo, who is also featured wearing the same pin. So we'll talk about him. Now, an interesting thing about Mark Ruffalo is I actually met the guy. I met him. He came into one of my jobs when I worked in New York, and he's actually very nice. All right. So I'm going to give Mark credit here. Very nice guy. All right. Very down to earth, very approachable. Didn't have his nose in the air. I would say that he, out of most celebrities, probably does put his money where his mouth is. Like he believes everything that he says, actually. So even though I wildly disagree with him, I can at least respect the fact that he does believe the things that he says. All right, let's play this clip.
Mark, what's the pin?
This is for Renee Nicole Good, who was murdered. We have a vice president who's lying about what's happening. We have we're in the middle of a war with Venezuela that we illegally invaded. He's telling the world that international law doesn't matter to him. The only thing that matters to him is his own morality. But the guy is a convicted felon or convicted rapist. He's a pedophile. He's the worst human being in the world. If we're relying on this guy's morality for the most powerful country in the world, then we're all in a lot of trouble. So this is for her. This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today. I know I'm one of them. I love this country, and what I'm seeing here happening is not America. It's not.
Mark, why do you feel that this platform is still useful to spread a message like this?
Listen, I want to pretend like this is, I want to be here to celebrate, and I am here to celebrate, and I'm proud to have a Golden Globe nomination. But also, this is not normal anymore. And so I don't know how I could be quiet. And I'm feeling a little sick, so it's hard to BS right now. So
It's because that's what they're used to doing, is BSing, you know. And I will say again, to Mark's credit, he is honest about what he actually believes. I believe him. I believe he is terrified, actually. Now, maybe not some of the other people, and maybe not as terrified as your average citizen, but he is like fully bought into TDS. So you have him here, virtue signaling, wearing his "Be Good" pin, while ICE just performs lawful operations in trying to remove illegal aliens from our country. That's what they're upset about. They're upset about the Trump administration sending people back to where they came from. Another thing, again, that I've stated before, it just kind of baffles my mind. It's not like he's sending them to, maybe some of them, the criminals, yeah, but like your average illegal, he's just sending them back to. Why is that so bad? What's the problem? He's sending them back to their own country. They can start over there. All right. He's not sending them to another dimension. You know, he's not sending them to Antarctica. He's sending them back to their own country. And hopefully, too, when they go back, they can actually, do some self-reflection, maybe fix their own countries. They come here waving their flags of their own countries. They're so proud of Mexico and Palestine and India and Venezuela and all these countries that they come from, El Salvador. Okay, go. If you're so proud of those countries, go back and make them better. All right? Make them better. If I went to another country waving the American flag and they kicked me out, I'm like, well, I'm just going to enjoy my time in America and make it good. Make it better. Do that. Make your countries better. Make them places where people want to live instead of wanting to flee to come here. So anyway, that's annoying. And there's one more. I don't have a video of her. At least I don't think I do. Yeah, I do. I do have a video of her. So Ariana Grande was also spotted at this event. So here is Ariana.
All right, look who's here. It's Ariana Grande. She's looking beautiful. There's so much more to come. All right.
Now, one thing that's very interesting about Ariana Grande here is that she actually looks somewhat normal again. And she looks kind of healthy. She looks healthy here. Hey, Sully Switch, what's going on, brother? Hope you're having a good night, man. And I saw this comment from the Critical Drinker, and he said, guess Cynthia's finally stopped sucking the life out of her. She does look healthy here. I gotta agree. Her being around Cynthia was a net negative, and she was literally draining Ariana Grande's life force. And the spirit is returning back to her body. But she unfortunately, though, even though she has more blood in her body, she doesn't have more brain cells because she is wearing this pin, virtue signaling, ice out. She did it, boys. I was getting calls, from the DHS, and apparently ICE they said, well, we were watching the Golden Globes, and we saw Ariana's pin, and we were inspired, and we realized it said ice out, and we need to leave now. We need to stop deporting people and leave. We're going to deport ourselves now. That's what we're going to do. Because of her pin, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. True story. Really happened. What does it even do? It does nothing. no one's watching that thinking, oh yeah, yeah, I guess it's time to call it quits. It's time to hang up the hat, boys. Get those illegals out of your car now. They don't belong. It's time to Ariana wore a pin. No one's doing that because they don't care. They don't care. Geek, what's going on, brother? How are you doing, man? I'm spurging out right now. That's what I'm doing. Totally spurging. So yeah, they were virtue signaling and just being weirdos as they normally are. Speaking of weirdos, we have another weirdo at the Golden Globes. This is God, I forget her name. The chick that wanted to be a dad. The chick from Game of Thrones. And said, I'm going to be a dad in the Last of Us show. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand why. What does it mean? I didn't even notice the comment before. Look. This is how they delivered kids to Epstein's birthday parties. Jeez. I'm dead. That outfit looks weird. Very weird. God, jeez. That was great. Speaking of, I want to take a trip down memory lane because this will stand for like the Golden Globes. This will go down as the best speech ever given in all of Golden Globes history.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off, okay? So... it's already 3 hours long.
And then he absolutely torches everybody. Ricky Gervais is awesome. He's so great. And I do think that was the last award show that he hosted. But unfortunately, though, for us, they didn't listen because we got this speech from Robert De Niro. It's I mean, it's probably whatever you're thinking, it's exactly that. I promise you.
I'm going to say one thing. Fuck Trump.
Wow. 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 Original. My mind is blown.
It's no longer down with Trump. It's fuck Trump. I'm going to...
Wow. Truly innovative. Yeah, Sully Switch says, wow, groundbreaking. Yeah, it's just... Man, I wonder how long it took him to think of that, man. You know, like, literally what they've been saying every day for the past, I don't know, like, 8 years. They think they're making a statement and all the SEALs are clapping. You're so brave. So brilliant. So, Robert De Niro, you've said something. You've done something phenomenal. It's just these people. They're totally disconnected with reality. They don't know what time it is. They just don't get it. That your average person finds them insufferable. We find you obnoxious. You are the butt of the joke. Okay? We don't care what you say anymore either. Trump doesn't care. You're saying F Trump and Trump's conquering Venezuela and deporting illegals and banning corporations from buying up all the houses and lowering interest. Like Trump is out there making moves while you're crying and virtue signaling on stage. That's what he's doing. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what you say. And neither does your average normie. It's only you snooty, stuck-up Hollywood elitist jerks that think this way. And that's why we need people like Ricky Gervais to just torch these tools, man. They're just clowns, bro. They are just so obnoxious, so insufferable, and people are done with it. And no, I will give credit where credit is due. There are some people that are, just tired of it, and that's Bill Maher. So comedian Bill Maher had laughed about virtue signaling celebrities who wore pins at the Globe and Globes, referencing last week's fatal shooting at of a Minneapolis woman at the hands of an ICE agent, saying, "Such displays aren't really his thing. We're just here for show business today." The comedian 69 chuckled to a USA Today reporter on the red carpet who asked about celebs using the occasion of the award to politically grandstand. It was a terrible thing that happened, and it shouldn't have happened. And if they didn't act like such thugs, it wouldn't have happened. But I don't need to wear a pin about it, said the often contrarian host of HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher. Yeah, don't wear a pin. Just shut up and act. Shut up and act. All right. Do your acting thing. That's fine. And keep your political opinions to yourself because no one actually cares. And you guys know this at this point. You know nobody cares. You had Jennifer Lawrence admitting nobody cares what you think and that you don't make a difference. You had every celebrity in the book coming out against Trump. You had Taylor Swift coming out against Trump. You had all the big heavy hitters, and you want to know what? He destroyed you. He destroyed your candidate. That's what happened. Because you don't matter as much as you think you do. Got a whole story for you in your DM. It's long, and you probably want to do this after the stream. You might get banned if you say it on YouTube, or just don't say what you might get you banned. All right, I'll take a look at it. That's a solid take from Bill. He's come a long way in the last year. Yeah, he recognizes now the insanity of the trans stuff. He recognizes that people on his side have lost their damn minds. They're totally detached from reality. And he's I think he's, if you're going to listen to someone left leaning, he's probably the better person to listen to, because he at least recognizes the insanity coming from his own party. Because they are truly insane, man. They have lost their ever-loving minds. So, Lisa, it's this next topic. I would be very curious to see what your thoughts are on it, because I have thoughts. So, we're going to talk about Lily Phillips and her recent conversion. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with Lily Phillips, she is a OnlyFans degenerate, and she is most prominently known for engaging in a sexual manner with, like 1,000 men. Like her and another, prostitute were going for the prostitution Olympics in sleeping with all these guys. And apparently Lily Phillips posted that she has converted to Christianity, that she got baptized. Now, when I first saw this, I actually thought it was a joke. Like, I did not take it seriously at all. I thought this is a joke. Like, somebody's saying like that she got converted, and I didn't look into it. I just kind of saw the story. I thought it was silly. I thought it was nonsense. I didn't believe it. And well, apparently she really did get baptized. All right. So I have this from John Root. OF model Lily Phillips posted a few days ago that she got baptized. Currently, I don't see the fruit of saving faith in Jesus Christ. Still sells this material. Doesn't mention Jesus Christ in her reasoning to be baptized. Still pro gay marriage. Still pro abortion. Still has immodest content on her social channels. Plain and simple, God can save anyone, but I don't see good fruit. Christianity has become a grift for many to elevate their brand a lot lately. I don't think this is anything more than lip service, especially after reading her explanation for baptism to USA Weekly. If it was real, she would leave her old life of debauchery, not justify her sin while claiming to follow God. All right, so this is the video.
Everything that I've read, praise the Lord. Worship Christ with the best of your portions. I know I won't forget all.
Maybe 2 years ago, I would have fallen for this grift. I would have given her the benefit of the doubt. But I've seen too much. I've seen too much. I've seen too many insincere conversions for me to be convinced that this is authentic. Maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am wrong, by the way. You know, I hope that she, has this serious conversion moment and deletes everything and, disappears from public life and goes off and becomes like, a none or something. That's what I really hope, but that's not the case. She does not show any of the fruits of somebody that has actually converted, and we will read that piece from the article. So here we go. Phillips, meanwhile, can understand people maybe not thinking that she's a good Christian. That's totally fine, Phillips said. That's their opinion. I'm definitely not claiming to be a traditional Christian at all. Obviously, I'm not against gay marriage. I'm also pro-choice, so I definitely don't have necessarily traditional values, but that doesn't mean to say that I can't be a Christian. Well, actually, Lily, it does mean that you're not a Christian. If you fundamentally reject biblical truth on things like marriage and abortion and sex, it does mean you're not a Christian. If you ignore what the Bible says on what is considered sin, then it does mean that you're not a Christian. I would just hope the Christian community welcomes me, because I guess everyone's relationship with God is bespoke to them. Solely switch. I have a few guesses. 1, make a mockery. 2, they have a super guilty conscience. 3, it sets an example for young girls. They can have a record-breaking hoe phase and then clean it up and be trad wives. She hasn't read 1 John yet. Yeah, she has not read 1 John yet. And she also hasn't read, Hebrews yet, where, it talks about, if you have come to the knowledge of the truth and continue sinning, there no longer remains a sacrifice for your sins. All right. So, if you claim to believe in God, but you are still actively sinning, you are still actively engaging in a degenerate lifestyle, then you are not a Christian. Plain and simple, night as day. If you are practicing sin, if you have not repented from your sin, then you are not a Christian. You are actually what the Bible calls a child of the devil. I didn't write it. I didn't make that up. That's what the Bible says. That's what the Bible says. You don't believe me? We're gonna read it. We're gonna read it together, because you need to actually hear what the Bible says. The biblical truth, and the truth will set you free. All right. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Let's see here. 1 John 3:4. Everyone who practices sin also practices lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. You know that he appeared in order to take away sins, and in him there is no sin. No one who remains in him sins continually, and no one who sins continually has seen him or knows him. Little children, make sure no one deceives you. The one who practices righteousness righteousness is righteous, just as he is righteous. The one who practices sin is of the devil, for the devil has been sinning from the beginning. So what does the Bible say? If you practice sin, you are of the devil. That's what the Bible says. You've been Bibled, all right? That's what it says. So you cannot claim to follow Christ. You cannot claim to be a convert to Christianity and continue living the way that you used to do. Nobody even understands what baptism even is. Baptism is symbolic of you dying to who you used to be. That's what baptism is. You are dying to your old self and being raised to life in Jesus Christ, which means you are going to turn away from your old life and follow Jesus. That is what baptism is. And that means that you are going to live righteously. You are going to pursue righteousness. You're going to be holy as he is holy. Look, I'm not saying that you won't make mistakes, but your heart is inclined to do the right thing. To seek the truth, to dive into the scriptures, to explore them and to practice them. That is what it means to be a Christian. If you love Jesus, you will keep his commandments. You will do what he tells you to do. You will not follow your own way. Do you know what following your own way is? It's self-righteousness. Righteousness apart from God's word is self-righteousness. And you have a lot of these self-righteous OF converts. You do. And these self-righteous Christians that think they can follow God and ignore what his word says. And it's nonsense. And it's going to damn them straight to hell. That's the truth. So, am I convinced that Lily Phillips has converted to Christianity? No, I'm not. I would love to be proven wrong, though. I would love for her to make this radical change. But if she continues to live the same lifestyle that she has lived, and there is no change, and she's still doing OF, and she's still supporting gay marriage, and she's still supporting murdering babies in the womb, of course she is not a Christian, and of course we should not take her conversion seriously at all. I want to play a clip, but it's a little inappropriate, so I'm going to crop some of it out and just show the audio. So give me 1 second here. All right. But this was shared to me by Brittany Martinez. Let's see. How can I crop this out? If I can't do it, I'm not going to show it. All right. So here we go. Because we also have to start getting serious about defending our faith, and when people basically make a mockery of it. And these false converts are one of them. And then there's also, the blatant satanic influencers that are another problem. So this is an ad, and just bear with me. All right, hold on a second. Slowly switch. Yeah. No, what's an awful thought. Perhaps they do this for publicity, and unfortunately their name gets tapped into the Christian community, which otherwise wouldn't know who she is. It's a brand enlargement operation. Yeah. And it is to prey on, I think, Christian men. That's really what it is. It's to, try to put a kink in our armor. But the truly Christian man too, we're disgusted by women like Lily Phillips. Like they are the least attractive women in the world, and the most attractive women in the world are women, our wives, because they actually pursue righteousness. They clothe themselves in righteousness and dignity. And that's the attractive thing about them. But then you have women like this that exploit Christianity, and then you have these Hollywood degenerates, which I'm going to show you a clip of, that also do the same thing. This is really inappropriate, by the way, but I just want to show you what they're doing because it's sick and it needs to be called out. All right, so let's see here. All right, I'm just going to play this. Hopefully it doesn't show anything.
Tell me what tempts you.
I tried to be good, and I tried to resist. I told myself I would just taste it. The worst part is, I didn't even try to stop myself the second time. It was just so rich. I swear, it practically pulled my mouth onto it. I didn't just taste it, Father. I let it sit on my tongue. I wanted to feel every inch of it melt inside me. In the morning, I just wanted more. It wasn't just pleasure, Father. It was worship.
Speak the name of this man.
Not a man, Father. It's David.
Cut!
Thanks, guys. These are actually so good, and I swear I'm not just saying that because you guys paid me a lot of money.
So for those of you who don't know who this woman is, this is Kanye West's ex-girlfriend, Julia Fox. But I hate the fact that these people are so bold that they think that they could do this type of stuff. They could blatantly mock Christianity, that they can blatantly sexualize this faith and just act totally degenerate and get away with it. It's very sacrilegious. And we're sick and tired of it too. And you ever notice how it only ever goes one way? Like they only criticize Christianity. You won't ever see them do this nonsense with Islam. You won't. And we really need to start getting to a point where one, I've never had this protein bar, and now guess what? I never will. So we need to put our money where our mouth is and say that we're never going to support any of the companies that prop up any advertisements like this that are directly mocking our faith. Like they should be punished for it because it's gross. It's disgusting. Sully Switch says men are totally turned off by that young 12-year-old boys. I don't know if they just try to Google who she is and why her conversion is controversial, are immediately met with intense temptation. Yeah. Yeah, and it's sad. It really is freaking sad that they're preying on these kids and that they're preying on Christian men. Unfortunately, there is no consequences. I dare them to do it with Islam. Yeah, I would love to see them do with Islam, but I would also love to see Christians getting more zealous for their faith, and not standing for this type of nonsense. Yeah, we could cripple their market. We really could. They and I think we too underestimate our power. If Christians all woke up collectively and are like, yeah, we're done. We're not. No. If you're going to support something that is diametrically opposed to what we believe and what we value, and you're going to peddle this degenerate filth, we're not doing business with you. It's super easy. My life, man, thankfully I never bought this product, but now I know, oh, I'm going to look out for these David bars and I'm never going to buy it. And I think we have seen this done well with the whole Bud Light treatment. They got crippled because conservatives and Christians woke up and were like, yeah, we're not supporting this company anymore. So I've seen it be effective, and we just got to start getting more serious because these people are making a mockery of our faith. Speaking of Islam, this is the last video I want to comment on because it's relevant, especially if you're a parent. So I don't know if you as a parent let your children watch Miss Rachel, but you probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't let your children watch Miss Rachel because She is a, Muslim sympathizing leftist. So here's the first video. So this is a video that she released responding to people with backlash over her teaching LGBT pride to kids. So we'll play this clip and then we'll play the next one.
I've shared prayers on here before and said God bless, and that's because my faith is really important to me. And it's also one reason why I love every neighbor. In Matthew 22, a religious teacher asked Jesus, what's the most important commandment? And Jesus says to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. There's no greater commandments than these. I believe it's mentioned 8 times, love your neighbor. So yes, everyone belongs, everyone's welcome, everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It doesn't say love every neighbor except. There are so many reasons I stand strong in love. I stand with everyone. That's who I am. And the love back and the God bless if you disagree is genuine.
She doesn't understand what love even means. And you want to know what? I'll be fair. Most Christians don't, because love is directly tied to God's commandments. That is how we love our neighbor. So if you are encouraging your, neighbors to engage in, sexual degeneracy, you don't love them. If you are supporting them sinning, you don't love them. Actually, I would make an argument that you hate them, because I don't hate my neighbor enough to encourage them to sin. All right. I love my neighbor. I actually do. And I want them to stop sinning and come into the fullness of what God has for them. And not be, damned to hell for all of eternity, because I actually do care about my neighbor's soul and not virtue signaling and not trying to look good. That is what it means to love your neighbor. There's also the love God part that they don't, because if you love God, then you do what he asks you to do. And it's not a burden. It's not a struggle. It's something that's beautiful, man. I want to keep God's commandments because I love him. I love this life that he's given me. I love this world that he has created. I love the gift of life that I have, and I want each and every single day to honor him with it. So I do my very best to speak God's love language, which is obedience to his commandments, obedience to his word. And to do the opposite, to sin against God, to sin against your neighbor, is hate. It's evil. It's wrong. It's not love. And that's exactly what Miss Rachel is advocating for. And she's also here featured with Zoran Mamdani, singing songs and supporting his socialist takeover of New York City.
Just gotta say, with this Miss Rachel person, it just immediately creeps me out when you have adults that dress like children and behave that way. If you're a parent that has your children watching this, maybe second guess it for reasons of being creepy and also some of her political leanings a little problematic.
Well, she is absolutely not in our house at all, at all. And it's not just because she's annoying, which I find it all very grating and cloying, but when she also made her whole personality about hating the Jewish state and basically apologizing for Hamas and promoting all their propaganda, that was a definite hard no red line in my household.
Well, now we know why Mamdani likes her.
I mean, right, it's sort of on brand, isn't it, this alliance,
yeah,
Nicole?
I don't know who Miss Rachel is. My kids are old enough, but she seems annoying.
She is annoying. And I'm going to give you guys, instead of just complaining about Miss Rachel, all right, I'm going to give you guys a viable alternative to Miss Rachel, one that your kids will thoroughly enjoy. All right. So this is a show called Gus Plus Us. I've met the producers. They're wonderful people. They're Christians. And this is a great show for children. It's beautifully made. It has excellent songs, and their character Lucy is not annoying and infantilizing and condescending. She is just a wonderful person, and I highly recommend this show. And here's the trailer. And the first and second season are available on YouTube.
Lucy!
Come on, guys. We're here.
Mutiny! Let's go! Oh, hi guys. Carrot.
Hello, my friends.
I think it's time for adventure.
Hey, parents.
Highly, highly recommend. Very good show. I absolutely think you should watch it. And if Solely Switch, I'm going to tell you something about the next season that I think will be cool. It will be cool. But I highly recommend the show. And I can't speak highly enough about it. Very good. It's like my 2-year-old was like singing the intro to this song as a baby. Is really cute, and it's they're Christian, so support them. They're good. They do good work, and yeah, I'm about it. And just to respond back to your question earlier, Solely, I have not really been keeping up with it. I did see though that they are, they're burning their burqas and stuff like that, which is interesting. That's what you're talking about, right? I'm pretty sure that's what you're referencing. But that's the extent to it. I saw like one video of, women burning their burqas and being in the streets and resisting, the Islamic regime. Oh, and let me read Sully's, or not Sully's, comment. What's his name's comment? KMD. All right. Oh, dang. This is long. Yeah, I'm probably going to read this off stream because it's a little longer than I anticipated. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye. I'll keep an eye on it, man. Because it's something that's kind of fell by the wayside. I totally did not pay that much attention to it, but I definitely will start keeping some tabs on it. But anyway, brother, I hope you are having a good night, and thank you all for tuning in. I think this is a W stream. Definitely one of my better ones. I have a lot of energy. I've had a lot to say, and I've just not been able to stream. Like Saturday. Well, oh, my youngest daughter. No, it's Friday. My youngest daughter almost broke her wrist. Oh wait, I did actually end up streaming, but I didn't have time to prepare anything. Saturday, my wife is going through the baby pains. So I was unavailable then, and I just don't stream on Sunday, Monday. But yeah, I really wanted to jump on and just tackle all these different topics. And I did it successfully. So awesome. Anyway, man, I appreciate your support. KMD, I appreciate you. I'm going to read your message offline. And I hope that you guys have a very blessed night. Thank you for tuning in. And we're going to call it for the night. So have a good one, y'all. Deuces. Oh, what? Oh.
This cut.